Well, I was pretty excited yesterday. I received my 8BitDo M30 controller. I wanted to give it a shot. Played it for hours on end. Worked great in my Sega Genesis. Worked really good in my PC when it was plugged in. But I had some difficulty with it. I couldn't get Bluetooth to work. I couldn't get it to work on Nintendo Switch. I was wondering, what's wrong with this thing? And I just, no matter what I could do, I thought there was a problem. Well, it turns out I didn't get an M30. I got the M30 2.4G. So I set out to find out, how did I make such a mistake? So after trying a bunch of bizarre troubleshooting steps, assuming that I had an M30 controller, I tried to figure out, what's wrong with this thing? I thought there was a problem, but the M30 2.4G lacks several of the features of the M30, namely the Bluetooth connectivity. I believe it started with being on Analog's website. So the confusion began when I pre-ordered my Analog Mega SG. And I pre-ordered this model here that's supposed to ship next month at some point. And I'm really excited to receive this thing. And it shows it with the 8BitDo M30 controller. I'm like, alright, no big deal. So I pre-ordered that, but separately you have to order the controller because those ship through Amazon. I'm like, okay, so I'm looking at this 8BitDo M30. Ooh, it's cheaper than the SN30 I just bought. I bought the SN30 SF. I'm very happy with that. That's a Bluetooth controller, and I really, really like it. Now I'm noticing some red flags, but first, before we get to the red flags, we'll see 8BitDo M30, buy now. And this is exactly what I did. And it opened up the Amazon product website, and you'll notice that something's a little different here. This is showing a slightly different controller. It looks the same, but it says M30 2.4G. It's a little different, but if you look at Analog's website, it says 8BitDo M30. 8BitDo M30. And it does say 2.4G receiver down here, but this picture doesn't reflect the actual product. And this is the first part of where my confusion began, because I thought this controller was going to be exactly like my SN30, which was Bluetooth and came with a Bluetooth receiver. And I'm pretty sure that I knew that it wasn't going to have a Bluetooth receiver, but I thought, all right, it'll work fine for the controller, but the controller's still Bluetooth, right? And I was wrong. And if you search for 8BitDo M30 on Amazon by itself, you'll see that there's an M30, but also a 2.4 gigahertz, which you don't find in the search unless you look further down. The 2.4 gigahertz one, like I purchased, is $24.99, and the Bluetooth version is $29.99. And I believe this does not come with the receiver; it's just the controller. Whereas you also need to buy the Bluetooth receiver to use the Bluetooth version of the controller on an actual Sega Genesis, or to use the controller on a PC. So it's important to understand the difference between these two controllers, but it's also very important if you plan on ordering through the Analog website. This is a huge problem, and I wanted to point it out so Analog could take corrective action so people don't make the same mistake I did. I really like this controller, and I'm going to do a separate review on this controller where I talk about the feel and how it operates and the experience I had with it. But I really wanted to make this video first, pointing out the M30 versus the M30 2.4G, so you, as a consumer, can know the difference. And I hope you get to watch this video, can understand the difference before you decide which controller you want to purchase. If you're only planning on using this controller on the Sega Genesis, then the M30 2.4G is perfect for that. It was super easy. Out of the box, everything just worked. I thought it was a great experience. I couldn't tell the difference between that and using a wired controller. I would assume that the regular M30 operates and feels the exact same as this controller, but probably going to send this controller back and get an M30. I'm disappointed, and hopefully they can update the website to include both controllers, showing the clear difference of what features are offered and what features are not offered on the analog website to hopefully avoid this confusion in the future. I thought I was getting the M30, and all the research that I was seeing on the M30 was showing me I was going to get a Bluetooth controller, that I thought I would have to buy a receiver. And I was really shocked when I received this and it had a receiver. I'm like, oh, that's weird. I thought they weren't including the receiver to save costs. I was just going to use it on my PC and order the receiver later until the Mega SG is released. Hopefully you learned something from watching this video. And if you were interested in buying the 8BitDo M30 or the M30 2.4G, know the difference. They're two different controllers with different feature sets. So if you liked my video, please comment, subscribe, and please, if you know anyone that's planning on purchasing one of these controllers, please share this video. I really want to get this information out there so people understand there is a difference. There's the M30 and there's the M30 2.4G. Thanks for watching.